Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to A Foodie's Guide to Fasting. If you are joining me for the first time, welcome. I'm glad you stopped by today. And if you are returning, thank you for coming back. I'm glad to have you back again. Before we embark on today's video, if you could go ahead and press the like button for me off the rip. The way that YouTube's algorithms are set up, that helps me to be more visible in the YouTube community, in this particular community, weight loss, OMAD, intermittent fasting, and helps me to get this information out to people who may be in need of it. So thank you again. Thank you in advance for pressing that like button for me. Today, I wanted to talk about some topics that might not be so popular and may even be a little triggering for some people, but I feel like they're important to cover. 4 topics to be specific. One is asking for permission when you're embarking on a lifestyle change or weight loss journey. The second would be realistic body expectations. The third would be judgment, not only getting it, but giving it. Oh, yeah. And also body dysmorphia and what that can look like and what that means or what that has meant for me. So the first thing I wanted to talk about is permission. I know that I struggled for a long time because I was looking for validation, outside of the fact that I would participate in these crash diets, coming up on, a summer vacation, coming up on maybe a birthday. I would always set these really unrealistic goals for myself to, drop a large amount of weight in a very short amount of time. And that just never quite panned out for me. And I think part of the issue with that was I never really gave myself permission to lose the weight. I was always looking for somebody else. I was always bogged down with the pressures of if I'd be accepted. You are only in your world as you appear. And I appeared as a 235, 245 pound woman to my son, to my family, to my friends, to my coworkers. And even though I didn't really realize it, I had this subconscious idea living with me that I would lose a part of myself, or that they may perceive me different if I went ahead and lost the weight. And so I think that really did lend itself to some, unhealthy behaviors that I had in regards to like crash dieting, trying to get the weight off fast. It was happening on a subconscious level, and I didn't really realize it. When you are embarking on a weight loss journey, when you're embarking on a lifestyle change, if you're waiting for your family, if you're waiting for your peers, if you're waiting for society at large to give you permission, you're going to be waiting forever. You're never going to take the initiative to get it off. We're selfish by nature as people. And if anything, it's better to seek out support than it is to seek out permission. And even with saying that, I would encourage people, just depending on how much pressure, you can take or how serious you are about your journey, it is a really good idea, in my opinion, to keep your weight loss journey private. I feel like part of seeking that permission or not seeking that permission, so to speak, is allowing yourself the threshold to ebb and to flow and to make mistakes and to get back on your journey without having someone, or having the fear of someone either saying to your face or subconsciously, I knew you couldn't do it, I knew you couldn't make it, I told you so, and things of those natures. So keeping your weight loss journey private, and also understanding that, you need to be doing this for yourself. You need to be giving yourself permission is a great place to start. Don't wait for anybody else to give you permission. You just need to do it for yourself. The second thing I wanted to talk about is realistic body expectations. I know that I'm a person who can lose a good 10 to 15, sometimes even 20 pounds. And just depending on what's going on with my body structure at the time, you wouldn't think I lost any weight. That's something that I've struggled with over the years. That's something that had been discouraging to me. I will even go as far as to say when I embarked on my OMAD intermittent fasting journey, I lost, I would say, from 245 down to 215 it was really hard for me to see the progress. And to tell you the truth, I didn't have many people mentioning to me that they had seen that many changes in my body. That's why, it's important to have realistic body expectations. Sometimes you may be a person that carries weight in your stomach. You're going to want the weight to come off in your stomach, and it might come off in your legs or in your butt instead. You might want the weight to come off in your legs, and it'll come off, for those of you and those of us who are women, it'll come off in your breast. I know, oddly for me, the first place that I lose weight is in my face and in my neck, and then I'll still have like a large body, And so just having realistic body expectations, knowing that you can't control where the weight is going to come off, is, something that's unspoken, but something that you need to pay attention to, because you don't really have control over those types of things. I will go as far as to say, I know in my last video, I did mention that you can't really do a lot of exercising with OMAD, especially not in the beginning if you want to see effective weight loss. But as you continue to come down the mountain of that, that weight loss journey, of that lifestyle change, be aware of how your body is changing. Take pictures, take photographs. There is no better way to document your weight loss progress than in a photograph or in a video. On the days when you feel like you are not losing weight to your liking, that helps out significantly to be able to go back and look at yourself 5, 10, 15 pounds prior in a photograph and see the difference, even if it's just inches come off. It's motivating, and it'll help you keep going. The other thing I wanted to mention is, it's nice to have a friend or a celebrity that you look at and think, I want to lose weight, I want to train, I want to get my body just like theirs. But also, you need to realize that your weight loss journey is your own. The way that weight comes off for a friend, or the way that weight comes off for a celebrity, might not be the way the weight comes off for you. And that's another reason why I would encourage you to see your journey all the way through. Don't get to a certain point and get discouraged about the way is coming off and abort your progress or abort your journey. You really have to have the right mindset and realistic body expectations. I know that for me, I got down to about 190 pounds from 245, and I could have stopped there. The reason why I didn't stop at 190 pounds, though, again, has to do with realistic weight and body expectations, having the right mindset. Getting down to 190 pounds, I didn't get down to 190 pounds until I was, I didn't get down to, when I did get down to 190 pounds, that was the first time that I had been under 200 pounds since I was in 8th grade. And I had to be realistic about it. I was getting compliments left and right. People were telling me I looked good, that I didn't need to lose any more weight. But I also knew myself. I knew from the sheer excitement and, the journey that I had behind me, that I really did run the risk of putting that weight back on. A cheeseburger here, 2 days worth of pizza here, 4 days worth of a chicken sandwich here, and I would have been up and over 200 pounds again. So you have to be careful with that too. Have realistic body expectations. I could almost guarantee, and other people can tell you as well, you're going to reach a point in your weight loss journey where someone, for whatever reason, is going to tell you that you've lost too much weight, or that, you don't need to go any further. If you know that you have a situation like what I just mentioned, and you can just eat yourself back up and over that weight, you are going to be hard on yourself for that. And so you have to keep going. Even if someone is telling you that you need to stop, as long as you haven't developed any adverse eating conditions, any adverse eating disorders, keep going till you reach your goal. Be kind to yourself, be kind to your body. Understand where you are in your weight loss journey. If you are looking a little gaunt, take that in, but let it out. I can tell you, I had plenty of people tell me, you look good here, right where you are. And even though I did feel like I looked good, and even though I did feel good and it felt good to have those compliments, I also knew that if I ate myself up over, and back into the 200s, that there was not going to be anybody there to help me take it off. And so it was important for me to go ahead and figure out how to do that, how to continue that journey and to get to where I want it to be. Have realistic body expectations for yourself and be kind to your body as it's changing. The third thing that I wanted to talk about, and I'm trying to talk very quickly because I'm just filming on my phone. I'm just starting out here, people, but I'm losing daylight, as you can see. Okay, you guys, sorry about that. I did need to come back and finish this video. As you could see where I was filming, I was quickly losing daylight. So the third thing that I did want to talk about was judgment. Not only the judgment that you'll get from others, but also the judgment that you give. For the most part, I had a good experience on my weight loss journey. I had heard horror stories from people who were saying that their families were extremely difficult or that their friends or coworkers were extremely difficult. That wasn't necessarily my journey. I know that early on, I did have an experience with a friend, and unfortunately, the competitiveness there did end our friendship. That kind of gets back to what I was saying about your journey needs to be your own. I know that there were some things that she was able to do that I wasn't able to do, and vice versa. Whereas, I saw her limitations as being limitations for her. She saw my abilities as, threatening to her. And that's what I'm saying. You never know where someone's coming from. Sometimes people will treat you badly because they themselves may be overweight and have sought to lose weight their whole lives and just not been able to do it. So that in itself can create judgment. That in itself can create jealousy. As I said, we were going to the gym and working out together. And then one day our friendship just ended over something that seemed very trivial, but I knew that it was rooted in us trying to come together and work out. And again, like I said, maybe some limitations that she had that, just us trying to be on that journey together just brought those out and created a situation that no longer permitted us to have a friendship. But other than that, the journey was pretty decent for me. You will have people tell you, you'll have people who will acknowledge your weight loss and praise you all along the way. And then you'll have people who won't acknowledge it at all. You might lose a really substantial amount of weight and they'll act like it's just another day in the neighborhood. You have to be as prepared for those things as you can be prepared for them. There's nothing that really prepares you for it, but you have to know that that's just the way it is. And you can't let it get you in a space to, again, where you want to give up. That's why there is a danger in trying to lose weight for a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a parent, just for reasons that are extenuating outside of yourself. If you're on a weight loss journey, that's where you need to start. You need to start with knowing that you're losing it for yourself, because you never know how someone's going to react. You never know how someone's going to judge you. You may even have encounters where people try to get you to overeat in situations just so that you would gain the weight back. I've experienced that on some levels. And it might not have been per se to make me gain the weight back, but you just never know where someone's mindset is. You just never know how they could potentially sabotage you. So you have to be looking out for yourself and politely decline. You don't have to be nasty about it, but you have to kind of take it for what it is on its face, because the truth of the matter is when you go into your private setting or in your private time, it doesn't matter if someone browbeats you into eating 3 brownies. You're the one that's going to pay for it. You're the one that's going to feel bad about it, The other thing that I wanted to talk about that's not very popular, but it's something that I noticed, and it's something that I've heard other people who have lost weight talk about in a very casual manner, but it's something that's very real. And that's you having judgment for other people. Yes, you as an overweight person or a person needing to lose weight, having judgment for other people who have not lost weight and who are and remain obese. I didn't think that was a real thing, but as I said, as I continued to come down the mountain, I had a moment where my empathy did turn into judgment. I was feeling good about myself. I was feeling myself, so to speak. And I would hear myself talking to friends or in a conversation and say things like, oh, that fat girl, or that fat guy. And it always stung the end of my tongue, just how quickly I got from being that fat girl to being able to call somebody else fat. Society at large is just not accepting of obesity and people being overweight. And so you have to make sure not to lose your empathy. You have to make sure to not let your language get polluted, and your mindset to get polluted with this idea that you're on the other side of the fence now and you can pick up, that judgmental personality, that very judging language. I consider myself a pretty empathetic person, sometimes to my own detriment, but it really did surprise me how I would look at other people and cast judgment on them for their inability to lose weight, or them, being obese and having, pride in their body, or wearing things that I wouldn't dare wear when I, was a certain size or said size. I'm glad that was something that, God brought to my attention and helped me to get into check real quick, because like I said, it's one thing for you to have those thoughts, but I also think it fosters the kind of mindset to where if you found yourself in a compromising position, on your weight loss journey, or depressed, or have some kind of medical situation that doesn't allow you to continue on your lifestyle or your weight loss journey, you run the risk of gaining weight yourself and being right back in that very position that you're judging someone else. The last thing that I wanted to talk about was body dysmorphia. Body dysmorphia is real. I've heard other people talk about it, and just not having the experience to understand it, have pretty much gaffed it off as something that, just doesn't make sense. Everybody just assumes that losing weight should be a celebratory process, and it really is, and it really can be. But it took me about 6 months to a year to really realize that I didn't wear a size, 16, 18 anymore. It took me a good 6 months to a year to stop going to the plus size section, and even just out of just sheer habit, flocking to that area, or being scared to try on a pair of pants. I remember when I got down to a size 12, I thought, okay, this is the smallest I'm going to get. And going to a department store, a couple of months post journey, and trying on a size 12 and not being able to fit them because they were too large. Just the sheer idea of going down a pant size made me afraid. It's something that I didn't really share with too many people, but it did. It made me afraid, because I was like, oh my goodness, I am really about to put on a size 10 for the first time ever in my adult life. Celebratory moment, yes, scary moment as well. Even in a size 10, standing in the mirror in disbelief. Right now I wear, between a 10 and an 8, which is, a size medium. And I still sometimes, it just kind of blows me away. I will look in the mirror and I will still see a 245-pound woman and be wearing the clothes of a 165-pound woman. So be kind to yourself again while you're on this journey. Know that things like that happen. If it's really severe, if it's really extreme, it's important to, seek out medical professional again, a therapist. I can tell you recently, I had a friend that was on the opposite end of the spectrum. She had been, painfully thin her whole life, and shared with me how she would, go out shopping with her peers. And while they were shopping in the junior section, she was going over to the children's section. And you just never see the other side of the fence. You know what I mean? Like, I know that was a real experience for her, because I had experienced it on the opposite side of the spectrum. So definitely, as you're coming down the mountain, find someone that you can confide in if it does become an issue for you. Talk to someone that you trust. And again, take pictures. It's something that helps. Take pictures of yourself as you are losing weight, and in your larger clothes and your smaller clothes. Take pictures because it helps you to love and accept the person that you're becoming and be okay with the person that you're becoming. Don't ever be ashamed that that you're mourning your larger person. It's something that's real. It happens. Just like somebody can mourn the thinner version of themselves, you will mourn your larger person as you lose them and as they dissipate. A lot of us don't like to admit it, but we hide behind that person, and you get exposed and vulnerable in ways that you didn't expect. And that also goes for men and for women. Again, this video is running a little long. If you guys want me to, I'll come back and make a part 2 about it. There's a lot more that could be said about just some of the things that you go through when you lose weight. But for today, I believe that that's going to be it. Again, thank you for stopping by my channel today. Please leave some comments down below. You can ask me about any leg of my journey that you would like to ask me about. And share your experiences with me. I also have a Facebook page under the same name, A Foodie's Guide to Fasting, and Instagram by the name of A Fasting Foodie. So you can check me out there, and also on TikTok under A Foodie's Guide to Fasting, even though I don't have that much content on there yet. Stay tuned. I'll be making more videos. Next, I'll be discussing cheat days, which is always exciting. But thank you for joining me today. Please like if you didn't do it the first time, and subscribe if you're interested in getting more content. And I'll see you guys in the next video, okay? Take care.